Let's practice translating and graphing inequalities together. Basically, for each of these practice problems, we're going to take the situation and then write an inequality to represent that situation, and then we're going to just create a quick little graph to represent where the solutions are going to lie on a number line. And real quick, in the description box below, you can find a free link to this blank PDF as well as the annotated answer key PDF if you find that helpful. Let's jump right into it. For number 1, we can see here that the number of students on a bus may not exceed 53 students. So the number of students on the bus can be 53 students, but not more than 53 students, right? So if it says cannot exceed, that's kind of a key word over here. So I'm going to go ahead and underline exceed. And so we're going to go ahead and write this as X. Let's go ahead and say X for the number of students on the bus may not exceed, so it can equal 53, but not go over. You may also write it this way, where you can write that 53 is going to be greater than or equal to X as well, right? So you can write it both ways technically, but typically people will write it with the variable on the left side, okay? When we go ahead and graph it, we take that 53 and we put it right in the middle of the number line. Then you can jump and put two numbers to the right and to the left. I'm gonna jump by 2's here. So here's 55 and 57. I'll go 2 less, that's 51, and 2 less, that would be 49. Then when we're graphing here, we have to put an open circle or a closed circle. Since you can have 53 students on this bus, we put a closed circle to include it. And then we draw an arrow pointing down, since this bus has a capacity and can't fit infinite numbers of people. So anything less than or equal to 53. For number 2, Lisa is going to eat more than 8 cookies. So she's not actually eating 8 cookies, but she's eating more than that, right? So I'm going to use the variable C here. You can use a different variable if you'd like. I'm going to say C is going to be greater than 8. Right, because she's eating more than 8 cookies, not 8 cookies. So 8.1 or 8.2 is fine. If C is greater than 8, you can also say that 8 is going to be less than C. Okay, so both of these are going to be okay, but typically, again, we use the one on the left just because the variable's first. And you're going to see as a pattern, if you write the variable on the left side, like in number 1, the symbol, this kind of matches the arrow, right? So our arrow is going to be pointed to the right this time. So let's go ahead and put this 8 right in the middle. And then I'm going to jump by, 2's here. So I'll go by 2's just like I did in number 1 and put these numbers on here. Now, the number of cookies can't be 8, so we have to put an open circle on 8 and then draw an arrow to the right. She eats more than 8 cookies, so anything to the right of that. Notice how this symbol here matches this one as well. All right, here is number 3. For number 3, Sam has to watch less than 5 Marvel movies per week, okay? I'm going to go ahead and use the variable M for the number of Marvel movies, and he can't watch 5, he has to watch less than 5, so M would be less than 5, or you can say that 5 would be greater than the number of movies he can watch, so both of these are good. Now I'm going to go ahead and put 5 in the middle here, and I'll go 6 and 7, just go up by 1s, and go down by 1s to the left here. And he can't watch 5 movies, he has to watch less than 5, so we have to put an open circle on 5 because he can't watch those. But anything less than that, he can even watch 4.99999 movies, and that's okay because it's less than 5. Number 4, the cost of Levi's food was no more than $18. So it could be $18 or less, right? No more than means you can actually be that number, but not more than it. Okay, so we can say the cost of the food, I'm going to use F for that, for the cost of the food, and it's going to be less than or equal to 18. And we can also say that 18 would be greater than or equal to the cost of his food. So both of these are okay. Let's go ahead and put 18 in the middle. I'm going to jump by 3's here just for fun. I'm going to go by 3's up to 24, go down by 3's, that'd be 15, and that would be 12. Again, feel free to skip count by other numbers. And then let's go ahead and put a closed circle on 18 because his food is no more than 18. It's allowed to equal 18. And let's go ahead and put an arrow going less than this. Okay, so 18 is included. Again, notice if you write the variable on the left, the arrows kind of match in the same way as the inequality symbol. Okay. For number 5, Arihi's luggage may not exceed 50 pounds. So if you go on an airplane, that's going to load that onto the airplane here. So it may not exceed 50 pounds. Does that mean it can equal 50 pounds? Yes. So let's use L for luggage. I'm going to use a cursive L here. May not exceed 50, so it's going to be less than or equal to 50 pounds, okay? Or we can say that 50 pounds is greater than or equal to whatever the luggage is going to be equal to. So we can write it both ways. Let's go ahead and put 50 in the middle. I'm going to go by 5's here, so I'm going to make this 55 and 60. And I'm going to go by 5's going down, so that's 45 and 40. Now, if the luggage can weigh 50 pounds, we should put a closed circle on it because it includes it, and then we should go to the left because we're saying less than that is okay. All right. Notice again that if you write the variable on the left, like L is on the left here, then that's going to match the direction of this arrow here. So that kind of works nicely. If you take a look at number 6, Chase must beat a minimum, so maybe more than, right? Minimum of 18 levels a day in a video game so that he can beat the video game this month, okay? All right, so I'm going to use V as the number of video game levels he's going to play, and he has to beat a minimum of 18 levels, so that means greater than or equal to 18. Hopefully that makes sense because 18 or more levels, so minimum of 18 means 18 is the smallest. Or you can say here that 18 is going to be less than or equal the number of levels that he's going to beat. So he has to beat 18 or more, or a minimum of 18. Then for our graph, let's put 18 in the middle. I'll go by 2s again here. It's kind of a nice number to go by. Nice and easy to think about too. So let's go ahead and put those on here. And then if we want to go, we should put a closed circle on 18, because if he beats 18 levels per week, he's still going to make it there. But if he wants to beat it faster, then he can beat more than 18 levels. Okay, so if he does 18 levels per day, then he should definitely beat this video game this month. For number 7, to make a profit, a laptop store needs to sell more than 38 laptops per month. Okay, so they can't sell 38 to make a profit. They need to sell more than 38. So I'll use P for profit here, and they have to sell more than 38, so it has to be greater than 38. Okay, so if they sell 38, they won't be profitable. Or you can say something like 38 would be less than the number of laptops they need to sell. So either way will hopefully make sense. Let's put 38 right in the middle, because that's the important number we're talking about here. I'm going to go by 4s here, so I'll go up to 42 and up to 46, and I'll go down by 4s to 34 and 30. Okay, sell more than 38, so if they sell 38, that's not okay, so put an open circle on it, and then it's going to be greater than that, so let's draw an arrow to the right. So the more they sell, the more profitable they'll be. Number 8, looks like for this one it says you must be at least 60 inches tall to get on a ride at an amusement park. Okay, so 60 inches is 5 feet, and you must be at least 60 inches. So maybe I'll use H for height here, and so we can say it's going to be greater than or equal to 60 inches. Okay, or you can say that 60 inches is going to be the least amount, so 60 is less than or equal to whatever your height has to be. Okay, for the graph, let's put 60 here. Let's maybe go by 5s. I'll put the 65 inches and 70 inches. Go down by 5, that would be 55 inches and 50 inches. Okay, now let's say we can be 60 inches tall and ride the ride, so we have to include that, so let's fill it in. And if we're taller than that, then that is okay. All right, so anything taller, once again, you can notice here that the direction of the arrow as well as the inequality symbol match. Number 9, Mr. Lee cannot survive in the water for more than 7.3 seconds. So can I survive for 7.3 seconds? I think so, but I cannot survive for more than 7.3 seconds. So anything less than that would be okay, or 7.3 seconds. Maybe I'll use this variable S for survive. I'll use a cursive S, and it's gonna be less than or equal to 7.3, right? Because I can't survive for more than it, but I can survive at that number. Or I can say that 7.3 here is going to be greater than or equal to how long that I could survive. Okay, on our number line, let's put 7.3 right in the middle, and I'm going to go by, I don't know, maybe 0.5, so that's going to be 7.8. I'm going to go up another 0.5, that's going to be 8.3. If I go down by 0.5, that's going to be 6.8. If I go down by 0.5, that's going to be 6.3. Okay, I can survive for 7.3 seconds. Let's go ahead and fill that in. Okay, that's kind of the limit. And then what we can do, say, is go down this way to the left, so I can survive if it's less than or equal to 7.3 in that downwards direction. Alrighty, finally for number 10, we have the situation where, say, to go undefeated in a track season, the team needs to earn at least 48 points in each track meet. So technically in middle school track, you need 95 total points spread across the different events, and so you need 48 of them to win the meet. It's a little bit more than half of that 95 points. So let's go ahead and say, let's use maybe P for points, and we need to score at least 48. So P is greater than or equal to 48. 48 is the bare minimum there, okay? And then, or you can say that 48 is the less than or equal to whatever the amount of points are. Okay, so as long as you score more than 48 or 48 points, then you'll win the track meet. Okay, so let's put 48 right in the middle here, and then maybe let's just go by 5s here. If I go by 5s, that'll be 53. Go by 5, that'll be 58. 5 less would be 43, and 5 less would be 38. Okay, so we can score 48 points. If you get 48 every single meet, you will win. And you can get more points than that, then you will also win. Okay, so anything more than 48 means you just win by a larger margin. So there you have 10 different practice problems on taking a situation and writing an inequality for it to represent it, and then writing a graph as well to represent where the solutions are going to lie. Make sure you know the difference between the open circle and closed circle. Open circle means you don't include that specific number, and the closed circle means you do include that specific number. So look for that line underneath the inequality symbol to know when to fill in the circle. And as always, feel free to share this video with somebody who may find it helpful as well to learn their inequalities just a little bit better, and keep up the great work that you're already doing, and I'll see you in the next one.